Good morning, good morning. ഇന്നലെ നമ്മൾ ഫാക്ടറൈസേഷൻ പറഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു. ഇന്നലെ നമ്മൾ രണ്ട് രീതിയിലുള്ള ഫാക്ടറൈസേഷൻ ചെയ്തായിരുന്നു. ഒന്ന്, എക്സ് സ്ക്വയറിൻ്റെ കോഎഫിഷ്യൻ്റ് യൂണിറ്റി ആണെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെ ഫാക്ടറൈസ് ചെയ്യാം എന്നുള്ളത് നമ്മൾ ഇന്നലെ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയിരുന്നു. എക്സ് സ്ക്വയറിൻ്റെ കോഎഫിഷ്യൻ്റ് യൂണിറ്റി അല്ലെങ്കിൽ എങ്ങനെ ഫാക്ടറൈസ് ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് നമ്മൾ നോക്കിയായിരുന്നു. We learned how to factorize quadratic equations with coefficient of x squared unity and also those quadratic equations with coefficient of x squared other than unity. So we will start from the yesterday's class. Yesterday we have just completed 3x squared minus 41x plus 60 and have just asked some of you to solve the remaining. I think most of you have completed, and since some of you have doubts in getting the pairs of numbers, I'll be just solving it for you. ഇന്നലെ നമ്മൾ മൂന്നാമത്തെ ചോദ്യം ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. 4, 5, 6 ഹോംവർക്കായിട്ട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറ്റുന്നവരോട് ചെയ്യാൻ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നു. ഡൗട്ട്സ് വന്നതുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ആ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻസ് ഞാനൊന്ന് ചെയ്തു തരാം. 4th one ചെയ്യാണ്. ഫാക്ടറൈസ്. ഇപ്പം ഇവിടെ നമ്മൾ ഫാക്ടറൈസേഷന് നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുള്ള ടൂള് എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം എന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഓർത്തെടുക്കുക. കഴിഞ്ഞ ദിവസത്തെ നോട്ട് എൻ്റെ അകത്ത് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടുണ്ട്. സം ഈക്വൽ ടു കോഎഫിഷ്യന്റ് ഓഫ് എക്സ്, പ്രൊഡക്റ്റ് ഈക്വൽ ടു കോഎഫിഷ്യന്റ് ഓഫ് എക്സ് സ്ക്വയർഡ് ഇൻറ്റു കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ടേം. ഇതാണ് നമുക്ക് വേണ്ടത്. വേറെ മാറ്റമൊന്നുമില്ല. അത് തന്നെയാണ് നമ്മളിവിടെ ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത്. So in the last class we discussed how to factorize quadratic equation with coefficient of x squared other than unity. So in that case we have to consider sum as the coefficient of x and product as coefficient of x squared into constant term. And to determine the sign of that new numbers, we have to assume if sum is negative and product is positive, you have to assume two numbers which are negative. In the previous class we have just discussed how to factorize it. We have drawn a table. We have considered two numbers as big and small without considering their signs. If both are negative, then the product will be positive. If both are positive, then also the product will be positive. And if the sum is negative, it will be, the numbers will be both negative, and the sum is positive, both will be positive. And in the next two cases, the product will be negative. If the product is negative, we will be having two choices: product negative and sum negative means the big number is negative. Product negative and the sum positive means big number positive. So we will be solving this question also in the same pattern. Here we have 6x squared plus 13x minus 5. And here we should take the sum as coefficient of x. So here it is 13. And now the product of those two numbers, 6 multiplied to -5, and which is equal to -30. And here we have sum as a positive number and product as a negative number. We are assuming two numbers whose product is negative and whose sum is positive. So in that case, we'll be having two numbers. One can be considered as big and the other as small. And what we have just discussed, if the sum is positive, then the bigger one should be positive and the smaller number should be negative. So we have to consider two numbers, a big number and a small number, and give the sign positive for the big number so that the sum will be positive, right? Is that okay? See, the product is negative, sum is positive. This is the case. Now, we will be searching down the factors of 30. We'll start with 1. 1 times 30. Both are of different signs. We have to get the difference. 30 minus 1 is 29. This won't work. Now, to consider 2 times 15, we have to take the difference. 15 minus 2 is 13. So, we got the big here as positive 15 and the small as -2. Hope you have understood what we have done here. Better to go for the factors of the product rather than going for the sum, which will you most of the times will land you in smaller troubles. So 6x squared plus 13x minus 5 will be rewritten as 6x squared plus 13x minus 5 is rewritten as 6x squared plus that 15x minus 2x minus 5. Now we'll be taking common factors on the first two terms. Obviously x is a common factor, and on the thorough checking we can get it as 3x, right? So 3x multiplied to 2x gives you 6x squared, then multiplied to 5 gives you 15x. And our aim should be to get this 2x plus 5 as a common factor of the next two terms. For that, we have to take the -1 outside, or simply put minus in the bracket. Better to write -1 times 2x plus 5. Now you have the factors 2x plus 5 multiplied to 3x minus 1. Now I'll just move forward a little bit. If this question is for solving, we have to give these two separate algebraic expressions as equal to 0. X plus 5 equal to 0, which will give x as -5/2, in the other case x as 1 by 3. So we will learn how to solve it also in the next few steps. But here the question is for factorization. So we will end up factorizing 6x squared plus 13x minus 5 as 2x plus 5 multiplied to 3x minus 1. Those factors are 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 1. Now, just go through the sixth question, try to factorize it, and still, if you have doubts, ask me, message me, we will solve it together as the previous one. Here, sum equal to negative 9, product equal to 7 times negative 90. Again, sum negative, product negative. So if product is negative, so they are of different sign. And if the sum is negative, the small one will have to be positive and the big have to be negative. Now, we don't need to actually multiply it as 7 into 90, 630, no need. You can keep it as it is and go for a prime factorization. 7 is already there. Now 7 and 90, 1 times 90. Since both are of different signs, instead of adding, you have to find the difference. 7 and 90 will work out to be 83. And now 7 to 45, 14, 45 over near. Now 7, 2, 3, 15. Like that you factorize and find the big number and small number. think of all possible combinations, you will get the answer for sure. 14, 45 won't work. So go for the next choice. 21, 30. Yeah, 21 times 30. That is okay. So difference is 9. So we have to write 30 under big, 21 under small. So the numbers are 21 and negative 30. Now we will be rewriting 7x squared minus 9x minus 90. 7x squared minus 9x minus 90 as 7x squared minus, okay, you can write minus 30x plus 21 or plus 21x minus 30x minus 90. Now, taking the common factors, you will get 7x times 3x, right? Is it 3x? No, it is x. Okay. 7x times x is 7x squared plus 3. 3 times 7x is 21x. So we need to take, yeah, minus 30 outside. So we'll get the same x plus 3 inside. Now we have the factors as 7x minus 30 times x plus 3. Now, if the question is solve 7x squared minus 9x minus 90 equal to 0, you will get 7x minus 30 equal to 0. Okay, I'll write one more step. 7x minus 30 into x plus 3 equals 0, and that will gives you these two things. 7x minus 30 equals 0 or x plus 3 equals 0, which will give the values of x as 30 by 7 or x as negative 3. Hope you have understood this thing. Now move to the next question. Okay, now we'll move on to the next types of quadratic equations. We need to factorize it if possible. We need to solve it later. So mostly these questions will be for factorization for grade 9 and all. So for grade 10 and all, purely it will be, you need to solve it. Okay. I'll give you the next set of questions. It may seem a little bit weird ones, but you can easily solve them as well. So these are the questions. We have to solve for a plus 1 all squared plus 3 into a plus 1 equals 10. And you can just go through the questions. You need to copy those questions to your notebook. Then we'll discuss it. We'll try to solve it. Okay. We'll start with the first question itself. Then I'll give you a chance to solve the next one. Then we'll discuss the third one and so on. Okay. So the first one is solve for a plus 1 all squared plus 3 into a plus 1 equals 10. And you will have different options for solving these type of questions. We can either expand it, simplify it, make a quadratic equation with a and then solve it. But here we are trying to solve it in a little bit different way. We'll just put this a plus 1 as any other variable other than a, let it be x. Now this a plus 1 all squared, you have a plus 1 all squared will become x squared, then 3x. If you make it a quadratic equation, you can write minus 10, which will be equal to 0. X squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0, which could be factorized to x plus 5 times x minus 2 equals 0. factorizing this type of x squared plus 3x minus time type, that is coefficient of x squared unity type, we have done it so many questions and we know how to solve it. So just cross check whether x squared plus 3x minus 10 factorize to x plus 5 times x minus 2, or x plus 5 and x minus 2 as the factors. If this is okay, we can move ahead to the next step. So 5 minus 2 is 3, 5 into negative 2 is 10. Okay, fine. So in this case, we'll get x as negative 5 or 2. But we need to find the value of a. So for that, we need to put a plus 1 equals this negative 5, or a plus 1 equals that 2. Now we will be having both the values of a. Once 1 minus 5 minus 1, which will be equal to negative 6, or as 2 minus 1, 1. So we solve it and find values of a are 1 and negative 6. Hope you have understood this method. Still, if you have doubt, you can just ask me. I will solve it once again. Okay, yeah, this is a little bit, this was a little bit easy one. Now, go for the second one, 2 into a plus 2 whole squared minus 5 into a plus 2 equals 12. In this case, you can put a plus 2 as x. You will get 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 equal to 0 as a quadratic equation with coefficient of x squared 2, and while factorizing, be careful that you should take product as 2 times negative 12 and sum as negative 5. So in this case, sum is negative and the product is negative. If the product is negative, obviously we have to consider two numbers with opposite signs. So for that you need to factorize 12 and 2, ignore the signs, take the pairs, and since the sum is negative, give the big number a negative sign. Okay, solve it. Those who have doubts, just go through the steps. We have just completed it. Now we need to move to the third one, fourth one, fifth one. Okay, you can consider doing 3, 4, 5 as homework, and just we will solve the sixth one. And that case, you need to solve it for x itself. That's a printing mistake in that case. So we'll be doing that. Solve for x. So this is equation 3. It's x squared plus 3x whole squared minus 2 times x squared plus 3x minus 8. In this case, yeah, you can just put or let y as x squared plus 3x. Now solve this as before, find the value of y. Put it as x squared plus 3x. Then you will get, if you have two values of y, solve those separate quadratic equations, you will get 4 values of x. Now do it. hope you have completed like this, and bye for today. We will meet again tomorrow. We'll continue the next topics. Okay, bye.